Hey, Jason here, and welcome to today's money mindset study session. Hey, how's it going, Rocket? And so today we're going to continue reading The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. And today we are going to be reading on the tendency of the subconscious. And this is to just help you if you're focusing on your two goals, which the first one should be financial literacy and the second one should be financial freedom. Then because we went over the goals, how to do that, went over the scrolls, how to get into the good habits, everything. But you need to now understand how to program this into your subconscious mind. Because once you program these things into your subconscious mind, you will start doing this on autopilot. This is how success happens. And if you're not familiar with the definition of success, on Earl Nightingale's definition from the 1950s, it is the progressive realization of a worthy idea. And so to progressively do that, you need to be able to do this without thinking. And so we're going to read how the body portrays the workings of the mind. The interaction of your conscious and subconscious mind requires a similar interaction between the corresponding system of nerves. The cerebrospinal system is the organ of the conscious mind, and the sympathetic system is the organ of the subconscious mind. And so that's part of like your sympathetic nervous system, things of that nature. Hey, how you doing? If you're coming in, just say hi, Jimmy. Hey, what's up, brother? I just saw that message about the gaming, man. Once I get my laptop charged up, I'm going to check it out and see if I can get that. I appreciate that. The cerebrospinal system is the channel through which you receive conscious perception by means of your five physical senses and exercise control over the movement of your body. This system has its nerves in the brain and is the channel of your volitional and conscious mental action. Now, what it's saying, cerebrospinal, is talking about the brain and the spinal cord. Have you ever saw that movie RoboCop, how he had his little brain? You can see the brain and then the spinal cord. That's what that's talking about. That is the cerebrospinal. Now, the reason why they're breaking it down this way, what modern school teaching doesn't really teach is we actually have three brains. We do not just have the brain in our mind. We have two other brains also, and I'm going to break that down. Hey, how you doing, Mildred? How's everybody doing? Let me know where you're coming from as you come in. The sympathetic system, sometimes referred to as the involuntary nervous system, has its center in a ganglionic mass at the back of the stomach known as the solar plexus, and is sometimes spoken of as the abdominal brain. If you ever had that gut instinct feeling, that when you felt something in your stomach, you just feel something wasn't right, or you needed to be at a very specific place at a certain time, that is what that was. That was the brain in your gut, your solar plexus. You have of as the abdominal brain. It is the channel of the mental action which unconsciously supports the vital functions of the body. The two systems may work separately or synchronously. Judge Thomas Troward says. Judge Thomas Troward, hey X-Men, how you been doing, brother? Judge Thomas Troward is one of the smartest men on the planet to start understanding the mind and the different brains. He was an Indian judge. He spent his life studying this. Even to this day, when I read some of his books, I'm still trying to figure out exactly everything that he's explaining. Like, this man was very intelligent. He understood this at a level that most people can never even dream of. And this is why I say also, like, the smartest people in the world are not the people that they're showing you on TV. It's not the people in the movies. It's not the people that are teaching us in school and books. The real people who are really understanding this stuff are the unsung heroes that most people do not know about. So Judge Thomas Troward, that is one name I recommend everybody to actually start Googling and reading some of his books. It is a very deep read. I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to be over a lot of people's heads. But if you just keep doing it, tackling one page at a time, you will eventually start to understand what he's saying and start applying it to your life. The vagus nerve passes out of the cerebral region as a portion of the voluntary system. And through it, we control the vocal organs. Then it passes onward to the thorax, sending out branches to the heart and lungs. Now, they just told you the third brain, the heart. Your heart is a brain also. If you start syncing up your brain up here, the cerebral brain, with the solar plexus in your heart, you go into a master manifestation. This is what Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches, to synchronize all three of your brains to work together in harmony. When they work together in harmony, you go into an alchemist state. You're now making whatever your desires are come true. Remember, the human body is not flesh and all this stuff they tell us. This is a quantum computer. Like I'm saying here, Polymac is not Polymac. X-Man is not X-Man. Jimmy is not Jimmy. Coffee Sophia is not Coffee Sophie. Jason is not Jason. We're spirits inhabiting physical beings. These vessels that we're in are quantum computers. And so we have to start understanding how to use them properly. And lungs. Finally, passing through the diaphragm, it loses the outer coating, which distinguishes the nerves of the voluntary system and becomes identified with those of the sympathetic system. It's going into the sympathetic nervous system, which is where most of us actually are very deficient at. Most of us, especially if you're someone suffering from stuff like lupus and things of that, you're actually your sympathetic nervous system is under attack at all time. It is very difficult for you to be able to get the things that you want because your sympathetic nervous system is always fighting something that it shouldn't. And if one of your brains is always focused on something that it shouldn't, you're never directing it to where you need it to be. And then so forming a connecting link between the two and making the man physically a single entity. That is the yin and the yang. When the yin and the yang come together, the brain or the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, but all three brains, when I say the brains, I'm saying the physical brain here, the brain in your solar plexus, and the brain of your heart. When those three come together, you become one solid being. You become Christ-like. That is a conscious. That I'm not being funny here. I'm not saying you're being Jesus. You're becoming Christ-like. You're reaching the Christ consciousness. That is what that word really means. I know modern religion teaches us, oh, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. It is Christ consciousness. It is not Jesus Christ. Christ consciousness. You're reaching a state of consciousness. Your thoughts, your heart, your desires, your emotions, everything are starting to go into one motion towards what you want. And this is why some people are able to get all the things they want in life, and some people are not able to get the things they want in life. Similarly, different areas of the brain indicate their connection with the objective and subjective activities of the mind, respectively. In speaking in a general way, we may assign the frontal portion of the brain to the former and the posterior portion to the latter, while the intermediate portion partakes of the character of both. A rather simple way of looking at the mental and physical interaction is to realize that your conscious mind grasps an idea, which induces a corresponding vibration in your voluntary system of nerves. So if you've ever just knew that it was something that you truly desired, you desired it so much that you just couldn't be still, you had goosebumps, all of those different things, that is what he's explaining here. This is how that actually works. And then he says, excuse me, a rather simple way of looking at mental and physical, and actually realize that your conscious mind grasps an idea which introduces a corresponding vibration in your voluntary system of nerves. This in turn causes a similar current to be generated in your involuntary system of nerves, thus handling the idea over to your subconscious mind, which is the creative medium. This is how your thoughts become things. So let me try to break this down. What he's saying is your conscious mind, you thinking, when you're thinking the thoughts of what you want and you get emotionally involved, you get so involved, you can feel it. Your nervous system, your sympathetic nervous system is starting to activate. You can feel it. If you've ever been so excited for something, you can feel it. If you ever seen a kid, like especially on, let's say, Christmas or their birthday, and there's a gift, there's just this one thing they truly wanted. When they get that thing, they're so excited. Their emotions, they can be crying. They're all over the place. They're jumping everywhere. They're emotionally involved. It is now in their subconscious mind that they can attain that thing forever. Like it is the exact same thing for our goals. If you truly want to be financially free, You need to be excited about it. You need to be like, I can feel it happening. When you get your check every day, instead of being afraid when you're paying your bills, you should be so excited, like, man, I'm grateful I can pay my bills. I'm so grateful that I have this money to be able to live. I'm grateful I have a roof over my head. When you get that emotionally involved in it, it is now becoming a part of your subconscious mind. And look at the exact opposite. It works in both ways. There's no real negative or positive. It's based off what is it that you really want. And so it's only negative or positive if it's something that you don't really want or if you do really want it. So look at a lot of people who struggle from paycheck to paycheck, or people who are always borrowing money. They are always negatively and emotionally involved when it comes to money. They're always complaining if they have to pay a bill. Oh, I got to pay this phone bill. I got to pay rent again. I got to pay my car note. Oh, man, I'm always paying my bills. Things is negative, but it's an emotion. They're getting into that emotion, and then they're putting in their subconscious mind, they do not want to have money. They're not excited for the little bit of money that they have come in. Hold on to money. It's not rocket science. It's not even something that is new. Most governments know this, especially Western governments. This is why they create certain societies within their countries to look certain ways. This is why, I'm gonna just say, for neighborhoods I grew up in, there was always a liquor store. There was always a check cashing place. You know, not too many people had bank accounts to be able to save money. There was always, some type of gun store or something like that. Hey, Tracy, how you been doing? Like, all of these things were designed for a reason. It's not something new. It wasn't by accident. And because let me not say the governments, because the people who designed our societies knew exactly what this information was, they psychologically designed most societies for certain demographics to keep them in poverty. Poverty is a business. Poverty is not something that is God made. Like, there's no creator that made us to be poor. Poverty is not something that is, oh, you did something wrong in a past life, and so now you have to go through this trials and tribulations. No, this is a man-made thing that was done specifically for a reason. This is the exact reason why the school systems in most areas of poverty do not teach kids anything about their mind. Most people don't even know what the mind really is. They think it's their brain. Most people don't even know they have 3 different brains. Like, even if you're hearing me say this right now, you're probably like, this dude is crazy. He's batshit. Yes, you have 3 brains. You have the brain up here. You have the brain here in your heart. And you have the brain in your solar plexus. You have 3 different brains. All of those work together in coherence. When you reach coherence between all 3, you become a manifestation machine. This is what alchemy is. Like, even if you read all these books about alchemy and all of this, it's not literally talking about turning lead into gold. It's talking about turning your thoughts into physical reality. That is the lead into gold. Taking something that is not even existing and making it real in this world. That is co-creation. That is our number one job here in this human form, is co-creators. And so then he says, every thought entertained by your conscious mind and accepted as true is sent by your brain to your solar plexus, the brain of your subconscious mind, to be made into your flesh and to be brought forth in your world as a reality. Hey, intuitive mycologist, how you doing, brother? So you may be like, he's saying, like, every thought in your brain, once it goes to the solar plexus, is going into your subconscious mind. But what is it that's moving it? It's your middle brain, the heart. The heart is the emotions. That pumps the emotions. Like, when you're really emotionally involved in something, your heart is actually racing. When you're really, really angry, your heart is actually beating faster than it is at its resting heart rate. Emotions are controlled through the heart. So if you control your heartbeat through breathing, things of that nature, you can actually start controlling how you're putting stuff into your solar plexus. This is what that is. And I know this is weird. I get it. I know this is not what most of you have ever heard before, When I first read this stuff, I was like, okay, I'm on some crazy stuff. But until I started applying it, that is when I started getting the benefits of it. This is different. And if something sounds so uncomfortable, it's probably making you uncomfortable because part of you inside is saying, yo, this is what I need to be hearing. The truth is uncomfortable. I can sit up here and lie to you and be like, hey, just, write down 100 times. You're going to be a millionaire. And then you'll be a millionaire in 30 days if you do it every day. I could lie to you and tell you that. Some people will be like, oh, man, I could do that. But the truth is, if you think it's something easy to do, it's not the thing that's going to work for you. The hardest thing for you to do is to discover the truth and act on it. And so let's read a little bit more. This section says there is an intelligence which takes care of the body. When you study the cellular system and the structure of the organs, such as eyes, a group intelligence whereby they function together and are able to take orders and carry them out and deductive functions at the suggestion of the cellular organism. Though the monocellular organism has no organs, it still gives evidence of minded action and reaction, performing the basic functions of movement, alimentation, assimilation, and elimination. So what that's just saying is our cells in our body, even the bacteria in our gut, the gut health, the reason why you want to have good bacteria, they all move on their own. They all perform the functions that we have no control over. If these things are performing stuff while you're sleeping, if we're able to breathe without thinking about having to breathe, what if we programmed all of these cells to go and get us money, to go and get us the riches of the world? What if we programmed these cells to start showing us, hey, where are opportunities? This is how we get there. You have to start programming yourself to do it. The sad truth is we all were programmed from other people. And no one can program you for the best of your life except you. Only you know what you want in your life. This is like, look at how many doctors, lawyers, all these people with these advanced degrees, and they hate their job. And then when you ask them, so why did you go and get this job? Well, my parents told me I needed to go get a good job. My parents wanted me to be a doctor. And a lot of our parents try to force us to live their dreams. They mean well, but meaning well does not mean it's the best thing for you. You have to start programming yourself. Like, if you're like, for me, I can say this because I'm overweight. If you're someone that's overweight, you have bacteria that is more prone to be overweight. If you change that bacteria or your gut brain to where it is a more slimmer, healthier bacteria, you're going to physically become slimmer and healthier. It goes the same way with money. Money is no different than anything else. If you want to be able to have more money, you need to start changing every part of your body and how it vibrates. Poverty, struggling from paycheck to paycheck, survival mode, bill to bill, Murphy's Law, not being able to save money. Those are different vibrations in your body than if you're on the opposite end of the spectrum, having money, thousands of dollars in your account, having a bunch of businesses, MSIs, multiple streams of income, your entire And now let's move on to the subconscious mind works continually for the common good. And this is what is really important. And keeps working. If you've been doing any of the priming that I've asked you to do for exercises, you may start seeing that you're dreaming different. You may start seeing that you're having peaceful sleep. Having a restful sleep and not even having dreams is sometimes a good thing, because especially if you're coming from having nightmares or dreams that have you full of fear, and then you go from like, man, I don't remember nothing, but I had a peaceful rest. That is a positive thing. That means you're moving in the right vibration. Now, if you keep it up, you're going to start seeing your dreams are going to come back and they're going to change. Like last night, I had a dream of I was in a group with like 20 people and we were all working together, building businesses. That felt amazing. I slept all through the night. I woke up at 4:30 When I got up at 4:30, I used the bathroom like I normally do. Then I laid back down, but then I was like, I don't want to go back to sleep. I just had such a great dream. Like, man, I want to go do something. So I came in the living room, put on my prayer that I listened to from Dr. Miles Monroe. I listened to his prayer. Then I did a meditation with Abraham Hicks. Then I did another meditation with Bob Proctor, drunk me some water, brushed my teeth. Then I did my skips. Then I started getting dressed and started doing my business for the day. Like, I love being in that vibration. And most people be like, man, getting up at 4:30 is hard. But once you change the physiology of your brains, all three, and they start vibrating and getting into harmony, it doesn't feel bad anymore. But 2 weeks ago, you would have told me to get up at 4:30. I'd be ready to fight. But that's how fast things can change. Hey, what's up with you, brother? How you been doing, man? And so let's read a little bit of this, and then we're going to get away for the day. The subjective self within you works continuously for the general good. Keyword general. General good. If you want it to work great, do the great good for you, you need to make it do so. It will always work for the general good. And remember, general good is just survival. But at the end of the day, we have been programmed for survival. So general good is not a great thing. I wouldn't recommend just being like, okay with general good. You should want an amazing life. You're an amazing person. You deserve the best life that you want. You deserve everything that you want. If you want a yacht, if you want a private plane, if you want to travel, like for some of my brothers and sisters here in Africa, if you want to go to America, you have the right to go there. And you should be able to go there. And damn, that's a big spider. Man, y'all have big spiders out here in Zambia. Yo, and they don't pay rent, man. But back to what I was saying, like, if you want all of those things, you have the right to want that. And you should be able to do it. But you're not going to be able to do it if you're focusing your conscious mind on, oh, I can't go here, I can't go there. Do you know how many people ask me on a daily basis, oh, man, you have any connections to get to the United States? And then I always ask them, I'm like, have you been to the embassy? You know, there's a U.S. embassy here. Have you been there just to talk to them? Just make an appointment and talk to them. They should tell you exactly what to be able to go there. Most people have no idea that they can do that. And then I ask them, I go like, a little deeper. I'm like, so where do you want to go into the United States? Hey, how's it going, Gerald? How you been doing, brother? Oh, everything's going great on this side. It's summertime. My back feeling good now. I can get back to exercising. I feel great. And then I ask them, like, where do you want to go in the United States? I'm like, you know, the U.S. is a pretty big country. And then they're like, I don't know. I'm like, why you don't know? I'm like, all states are not equal. I'm like, the North is cold. The South is hot. Some states have natural disasters. And then like I tell people here, I'm like, if you're not familiar with tornadoes, you may not want to go to anywhere near Tornado Alley, or you might be in for a really scary time when a funnel cloud just start coming down and it's jumping all around you. Because like I remember the last time I was there before I moved full time, man, it was like 3 tornadoes coming down in Dallas. I was like, I'm so sick of this crap. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I was like, I'm so done with tornadoes. And mind you, when I was a kid, tornado hit our house, threw me through the closet. And I was just like, I'm done. I was like, I don't have energy to be afraid of the wind creating a funnel cloud and coming down, destroying stuff. And at that time, I was dropping Cece off at the mental health hospital where she worked at. And so I'm getting home and I'm just looking, trying to see like, oh, where's the funnel cloud? You know, and I'm like, dude, this is too much. I was like, I don't have the energy for this anymore. And I was like, and that told me, I was like, it showed me I didn't want to live in a place where there's natural disasters anymore. Guess what? There's no natural disasters here in Zambia. See how that works? Once you start understanding exactly what you want and you get everything in coherence, you will find that place. And Zambia was not even a country I knew existed. And I ended up here out of nowhere. Then it says, reflecting for the general good, reflecting an innate principle of harmony behind all things. Your subconscious mind has its own will, and it is a very real something in itself. It acts night and day, whether you act upon it or not. It is the builder of your body, but you cannot see, hear, or feel it building. As all this is a silent process, your subconscious has a life of its own, which is always moving toward harmony, health, and peace. This is the divine norm within its seeking expression through you at all times. Now, what it's talking about there is your ego. Your ego is not your enemy. This is the biggest misconception in psychological history. The ego is not your enemy. Your enemy is your identity. What is the identity that you're holding on to? That is the enemy. And what I mean by that is, if you ever seen someone and they saw you and they're like, man, you changed, and they say it in a negative way, they don't understand you because you have a different identity than what they remember you of. The identity should always continuously change. We are made up of multiple identities. We are not a singular identity. Singular identity things are animals. If you look at a cat, it will always be a cat. If you look at a dog, it's going to always be a dog. It has natural instincts that we do not have. The level of consciousness is at a higher level of consciousness. We have Christ consciousness, depending on what your belief system is. But once you reach that divine consciousness, all it's saying is you have the ability to get everything that you want, but you must start using your ego. The ego is what generates the pictures that we see in our mind. It's called daydreaming, but it is not daydreaming. You're using your ego. It is I like to call it's an energetic generator. And over and over again, that is the universe telling you you're now in the right spot. You're going to get what you want. That is how you properly manifest. That is the law of vibration and the secondary law of attraction. You're now changing your thoughts into gold. And the gold is you being happy. Damn, that's a big spider. Yo. Okay, I'm gonna have to kill him once this is over because he's too big. But that is what that is. So I'm trying to stay focused. I hate spiders. Like people, if you wonder why I hate spiders so much, when I was in Las Vegas before I moved to South Africa, I got bit by a brown recluse. It's a poisonous spider, and so I got a real bad mark on my leg where it's dark, where the spider bit me and put the poison in me. So I really don't like spiders. I think these are wolf spiders or huntsman spiders or something. But they don't do anything. They just get big. They don't eat the flies. They don't do anything. And so they're like really annoying. And they just run around the house. I don't know. But I'm going to kill it later if it's still in here. But that is how you make this. That is how you do this. And I know I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. This is complicated. I'm not going to lie to you. This is complicated reading. This is very, very higher echelon reading as far as it's telling you things that is not the norm. It's telling you things that modern school and education is not going to tell you, and your modern teachers are not going to know about this stuff. Even most people who major in psychology do not know this. Psychology is the study of self. If you're not working on yourself, you're not studying psychology. Even people like Dr. Jordan Peterson, I like him. I like some of his stuff, but I do not agree with everything he says. He does not fully understand psychology. And if you actually look at him when he's on live videos in his house, it don't all add up. This is why he's trying to show you a level of perfection, and it doesn't exist. My workstation right now is a mess. I got shit all over the place. I just got a video card in that I'm going to start. I have all this stuff I got from the Lusaka car I need to go through. I got to start writing out my calendar, seeing which companies I'm going to go see when. All of this different stuff. I have my Bitcoin miners. I have my little electrometer that I need to test one of my miners to see if the circuit. All of this stuff right here on my desk. It is a mess. And you may be like, Jason, why are you going to keep you moving in the right direction? And so just focus on being better. And the best way to focus on being better is start seeing yourself better. Start seeing the things that you want. And that leads us straight into today's exercise. What do you want? What is it that you want? You need to start asking yourself that. What is it that you want? If you know what you want, that's great. Now you need to start focusing on it. But if you do not know what you want right now in your life, you need to start priming yourself to figure it out. The best way to prime yourself is when you wake up and go to sleep. When you wake up, and first thing in the morning, you ask yourself, what do I want? Where do I want my life to be? How do I want my life to look? And you're going to start getting answers. Then when you go to sleep, start asking yourself before you go to bed, what do I want? Where do I want my life to be? How do I want my life to look? Start asking the hard questions. Once you start asking yourself the hard questions in the proper manner and priming yourself, you're going to start getting the answers. You're going to start seeing the things you don't like. You're going to start the things you do like. It's going to give you, what's the word that just left me? It's going to give you, I can't remember the word now. I'm going to remember it tomorrow once I get off here right. Watch. But it's going to give you damn, this is driving me crazy. I hate when I forget a word. But it's going to show you the polar opposites, the opposites. Yeah, clarity too. Yes, clarity is a good one, but polar opposites. Another word I'm looking for is, see, when I do these big reads in these books like this, there's a lot of words in there that I be defining. And then when I go through defining those words, it make me forget some of my simple terms I know. But yes, clarity will work. And thank you for that, Sherry. But yes, it'll give you clarity, but it will also give you polarity. Polarity, there we go. And what with polarity is showing you the opposite spectrums. It's going to bring to you things that you don't like and things that you do like, because it's showing you what they both look like. You can see how you can get it. And that is it. And if you have any questions, let me know. But if not, you can always shoot me a DM if you're here on TikTok. If you're on YouTube, you can always just leave a question here down below. If you are not doing the 30-day goals challenge, which is a financial challenge, the first one is financial literacy. Second one is financial freedom. Make sure you go to IG or to TikTok and watch each and every day. It's just a post. Right now, it's just a post to warm me up. Once the 30 days are over, I'm going to reset it. And this time I'm going to do it with a video. I'm going to do it as a video, and I'm going to go with you through my goals to show you how I do it, what I do. And so you can do the same thing also. Oh, before I leave, let me just share this with you about the Reticular Activating Center, the RAC. This is such a powerful thing. And it's so funny because I've always talked about how I plan on getting cars, putting them on Yango, stuff like that. So me and the group Economics Now Man, the group that of guys that we came together to do this, we've done it. We have our first car. We just finished everything today. It is fully registered. Everything is ready. Now, once we, the company that we're partnering with, once they find a driver, then we will be handing that car over for the driver to start working from 6 in the morning, and he can work up to 1,900 hours. And the funny thing is, we got a Honda Fit, and guess what? Every single day, I see about 10 to 20 Honda Fits on the road. Before, I was seeing nothing but Toyotas. Once you start putting these things into your subconscious mind, it's going to always show up through the Reticular Activating Center. If you've ever accomplished a goal or got something that you wanted, you most likely started seeing it all over the place. And so once you start recognizing that, that is letting you know you've done it. Give yourself a pat on the back and just get amplified. They are not meant to be stagnant. So please be careful of that. I'm going to do a video about that, explaining why you do not want to have a stagnant goal. But I will do that another day. Hope you're enjoying this money mindset study session. I love it. I appreciate you for hopping on here. Sometimes it do get boring when I be studying by myself. So doing these on video now, it makes it fun because I feel like I'm studying with my group of peers. And I hope you see yourself as a group of peers, one of my peers also. And I hope you reach every single goal that you desire. You deserve it. Every single goal you want, you deserve it. You're an amazing person. You're an amazing soul. And Hey, can you send Mr. Jonathan here? He's calling me.
Okay. Are you still?
Yeah, hold on.
Let me use the
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let me hear about here. That was the company I'm partnering with. He just gave me a call because he's here dropping off something to me, and I need to speak with him. So I'm sorry, I got to cut this short. But just remember this: I am Jason. Success is simple once you know how.